All right. Okay. So, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope I'm all good. I'm live. I know Facebook has a way of just smooshing the screen down. I hope it doesn't do it this time around. I just want to say hello, hello, hello to everyone. Let me just double check that everything is good. Let's see. It looks like I am on. It looks like I'm good. All right, so I am just gonna share this into the group. So we've got this. All right, let's see. Okay, then this. All right, retry. Nope. All right, never mind. Okay, welcome. If you're here, please let me know. Please say hello. I would love to see your face. I love to see you say hello. Would love to connect with you. Just say hi. You don't have to stay all the way if you don't want to. Don't worry. There are no social media police here to just catch you and make you stay. So don't worry. I want to say hello. Welcome. Hello, beautiful woman. Welcome. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Mariola. I was just literally saying like there's no Facebook or Instagram police here. So if you want to dash off, it's totally cool. I just want to say hello to everyone who is joining here on the live, or if you're catching the replay, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Wow, I am in so much energy right now. I'm swimming in so much beautiful things that are happening in my life. Hi, Mariola. Beautiful goddesses are all here. Wow, I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you can feel my heart. It's just, yeah, deep gratitude. So, some of the things I want to show and share and kind of really come in and set the tone, because I know that I have, as with so many of you, if you have actually experienced this, please share as well. We've definitely come through some really potent energetic portals. Yeah, baby. And for me personally, it's been such a ride, and I feel like I'm finally coming through and coming into this space where I am fully, really in that fire element. If I can describe it, if I can at least describe it, it's almost like I had to go through all the elements of nature, going into deep metal element of alchemizing what needed to be alchemized, and then coming through into water, becoming this formless fluid but such a potent element, and then moving into the phase of growing, the wood element of just growing and shooting and sprouting, and then eventually coming into earth where I can start to ground, I can start to earth in, and then finally having that fire, the fire in me to finally glow and share, and really, hopefully my intention is to get you to move, make that move, get you out there so that you're creating the kind of life that you desire to create. And this is what I'm feeling so deeply for all of us right now. So just to reel back in a little bit, I'll get there eventually, but I just want to share a little bit about myself, because I know there are so many new faces here from Threads, from Instagram, from Facebook. Like everyone has been like somehow, I always believe this beautiful magic that happens when your energy is aligned, like things and people just kind of drop in from nowhere, and people are discovering my content. So I just want to come in and share a little bit about what I am, who I am, and then we'll dive deeper into what I really want to share today. So, my name is Ling. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here for a long time, you've been in my world, in my experience, thank you. I am a ceremonial keeper of Cha Dao. So, Cha Dao is actually the way of tea in English. And the way of tea is actually really a way of living. It is a way of living in harmony with nature, with the cosmos, with our divinity within. And there are so many interwoven aspects of the way of tea with Zen and Buddhism throughout the centuries. But what really gives such a magical potency to the way of tea when it is woven into mentorship is the remembrance that it really stirs up in us. It activates in us something that's very ancestral and very ancient. And this really goes back to the fact that we are working with leaves that come from ancient indigenous wild growth trees that have been on this earth probably longer than we have walked this earth as human beings. And I would go so far to say that I've had many, many past lives, meditation and regression and awakening, where I was able to see this tree being in Lemuria itself. And so I absolutely love working with this medicine. And I have found my way of weaving this into my mentorship spaces. And I would always say this, because the truth of tea is so formless, it's the great mother. She doesn't come with any dogma or doctrine or judgment or anything like that. She's very ready to walk into your body. She's very ready to come into you. It's quite different from various other plant medicine in that very, very specific aspect, because usually plant medicine, you have to really go to the plant itself and honor the plant and cleanse or flush out certain things before you actually ingest the plant. But in this case, tea has always been a very gentle plant because it's an adaptogenic plant. So it's been very, very safe and very, very able and open to be used every day as a daily practice, as a daily devotional practice. And that's why Zen monks have used that plant for many, many years. So I just want to share that before I dive into this, because I know when I speak about tea, a lot of times there is such a big, it's a vocabulary that encompasses so many things, because it's been with us for, culturally, socially, for so long, that I have to give that little context before we dive deeper into that. So a couple of years ago in 2019, I was actually working in Hong Kong. I was working in media. I was a digital media content manager. So it's very different from where I am right now. So that was my quote unquote previous life, right? And I was feeling a little bit disillusioned at that point. I was meditating, I was loving it, I was soaking up all the beautiful energies that I was able to tap into. I was in that spiritual awakening phase where I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, but I knew I loved meditating, I love astral traveling. I was able to tap into my Kundalini energy. And yet I was quite the novice, to be honest. Like, I wasn't really, really following anyone in particular. Like, spirituality at that point for me was just to feel good, just to make sure I am calm, I'm at peace, like I can deal with the work in a more harmonious way. As you would imagine, media is a very high pace and fast lifestyle. And so when I literally got down on my knees to ask the universe, I asked the universe, I was like, I really feel like there's so much more to life than this. Can you please show me a sign? And very swiftly after that, I received an invitation, a media invitation, to attend a tea ceremony at the time. And my first thought was, well, I love tea. Obviously, why not? And at that point, when I say I love tea, I was actually quite a picky tea drinker, in the sense that I wasn't a connoisseur at any standard, but I loved my herbal teas. I loved my flavored teas. If I could say, if I drank anything remotely Asian, it was probably like Japanese green tea or Korean tea. But that was it. So I accepted the invitation to go to the tea ceremony. And the minute I walked into the tea space, oh my gosh, like the remembrance of something so deep within me, I can only describe as a return home within, a return home to myself. And it was such a beautiful feeling that I just felt like I was coming home for the first time. And this is something that was really immense because for the longest time, I have disowned myself in many ways. I have, really suffered from anorexia for about 10 years of my life. I've had various eating disorders throughout the years. And hello, everyone who's joining me. I just want to say I can see you. I just want to focus on telling the story, but I can see you. I acknowledge you and I love you. Thank you for sharing. And if you are staying, thank you, or sharing this wherever you are, thank you. So, coming from a place where I disowned myself for a long time, I had disconnected myself from my body for a long time, it was an immense, immense feeling to have. To feel like I am home in my body, to feel at peace for the very, very first time. It was such a huge thing to even acknowledge. And when I started to drink from the bowl of tea that was served to me by my beautiful tea sister, the first thing I really heard was, you have to go and serve tea. You have to forget, drop everything you know, and go and serve tea. And I remember at that time, there was such a deep reverence and remembrance for my grandmother, in particular, my late grandmother. And in fact, it was really a matriarchal energy that was really coming through, because it wasn't just my grandmother, but it was like the grandmothers and the grandmothers of all our times that we carry in our blood, in our bones, in our womb, in our every fiber. And that was because I had this distinct image of this beautiful, this crone woman who was just sitting next to a cauldron, and the cauldron was boiling, and she's just so meticulously watching over the fire and making sure that the substance, the liquid, is boiled to perfection before she serves that. And that is the kind of energy that I felt was imbued throughout the entire ceremony and the bowl of tea that I was having. And so ever since I received that mandate, that divine mandate, I've allowed myself to trust. I've been able to allow myself to literally leave behind a career and start anew, somewhere completely new, in a country that's completely new. And I started to serve tea, just really opening myself up to serving tea. I honestly, like, being in the way of tea has been so spectacular in every sense of the word, because if you told me that you're coming to my house, you wanted to come to my flat and you wanted to have tea, and I've never met you before, I would still be so welcoming. I'll be like, sure, come on in. And that has been something that I was doing for the longest time until COVID hit, obviously. So with this journey, I want to today honor the journey that I have taken from that moment when I heard the mandate and accepted the mandate and actually went and did it. I actually took the action, because what I feel is oftentimes the one thing that really stall us or slow down the divine timing that is meant for us is the fact that we sit in the thinking for so long that we fail to take the action at that point when the heightened frequency is going to help and assist us to move even faster. And I want to be very clear. If you feel like you've missed something and it's never coming back again, my belief, and I truly believe this because I know just from an energetic standpoint, what you think you have quote unquote missed is always going to come around again. It may come around in a different form, and you will probably perceive it differently because you have a different consciousness level at that time. But it will always come back to you. It will always come around again. If it is really for you, it will come around again. It's the same thing as with everything in this dimension. It's the same thing with the other end of the spectrum, which is what we call the lessons, the challenges, the obstacles, the blocks. If we don't learn, if we haven't integrated the lesson fully in this lifetime, let's just put it that way, it will come back again in a different form that will befit the level of consciousness we hold at that time. And so it is so important for us to really get into a space where we can have unwavering faith in who we are, to know ourselves truly, and know that whenever anything that looks like a trigger or a challenge or an obstacle comes up, it is not meant to bring us down. It is not meant to test us either. It is only merely here to invite us into our next level, our expansion. And I think one of the things that I've come to realize is that because we know, with the deep knowing that we are cosmic beings, it comes with the knowing that with every expansion there will be a contraction period. And the key, the work, is to acknowledge the contraction, but actually not see it as a bad thing. And I'm jumping into really sharing something that's deeply, profoundly transformative for me, because I definitely am human, as you can see. And there have been moments when it was a very contractive period for me. Like, I could have chosen to say, I'm giving all this up and I'm not going to do it anymore because it's so tough. It could have been a myriad of reasons. It could have been because somebody said something mean. It could have been because the business is not working, or someone didn't sign up, or whatever. It's a huge aspect of who we are, right? Our purpose. Once we start to lose our direction, is because we have lost sight. We have disconnected ourselves from our purpose. We have disconnected ourselves from what truly drives us, what really is that juice that wakes us up. Okay? And oftentimes, many people would think, and this is because we don't have it in our lives, and so we think that it is the reason. But what happens often with beautiful women who are here to do amazing, incredible work and create impact, oftentimes what happens is that you will manifest something and then you will not feel like contentment or fulfillment the way that you think you would. And this is something that drives your mind stark crazy, because you start to think like, oh God, like I'm losing my sense of purpose. I'm not sure why this is happening. And the more you start to feel the contraction in your body, if you do feel the contraction, most of the time, because we live so much in the head, it often just becomes this story that threads into another story, and it weaves into another story, and it gets bigger and bigger, 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 to the point where you become this overthinking mind, and you are convinced by the overthinking mind that you end up just not taking the action that you were meant to take. And that's what I mean by you kind of miss that heightened frequency. It's almost like a wave that's coming, and we just kind of miss that wave, and so you didn't ride it, you didn't surf it. But the wave will always come back. It's just a matter of time, and it will come back in a different form. And if you notice it, if you actually catch it the next time, then you will know, oh yes, I've got this now. And that's your completion with one lesson in your life, right? That's the way I can put it. You can put it in many different ways, but I'm going to just put it that way because that's how it's coming through me today. So for me, what really came up for me until the 777 portal has been really a test. And I say test because I know it isn't a test, but at that time, it felt like it, because I felt like I don't know what exactly I'm here to see. Like I need a sign. Please, like, give me a sign, like a clear sign. Like, I'm not sure what I'm here to see. And what really came up for me is it kept saying simplify, simplify, simplify. And, I am so thankful. I'm so thankful for this download. I'm so thankful for this divine message that came through, because it walked me back to the very first moment when I had tea in that ceremony. It walked me back to the mandate. And this is a mandate that I've written so many times, that I have carved into my heart. I've carved into my wisdom center. I've carved into my third eye. Like, every moment I can see it. But somehow, when it came back to me, it almost felt like I am hearing it for the first time. You have to go and serve tea. You have to drop everything you know and go and serve tea. That was the mandate. And so, where I'm sitting right now, sharing this with you, I can tell you how it's translated itself. To stop overly identifying yourself with one thing. Because the ego has a way of really attaching itself to something. And when it is a spiritual ego, a spiritual identity, it becomes even foggier, because we think that that's everything. And I can tell you 100%, when you start to judge, when you start to notice that you're judging, whether it's judging someone external to you or judging yourself, being hard on yourself, that's when you really need to reel back and pull back and really ask the simple questions. Why am I doing this? Because at this point in the game, for me, it was very clear. The question, who am I, is no longer a question for me. I'm not triggered by this question, because I know clearly who I am. You can judge me externally, and I would say thank you to you. I will not be triggered when you ask me who I am. But the ego, it doesn't have any hold on me when it comes to who I am, but it has a hold on my identity as a ceremonial keeper. It has a hold on my identity as a writer, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur. And so unconsciously, I slipped into a place where I was looking outward, and I was unconsciously holding myself back in so many ways that I didn't even notice until I could really allow myself to simplify, to really come back. And sitting with tea, it was so clear to me, the messages that kept coming to me is like, stop overly identifying yourself. There were so many things, and I want to share this with you. One of the words that was channeled to me today: don't get overly attached to your identity. One must know oneself and then forget about it. Your true north never wavers. Stars and planets can move and change, but the North Star never moves. And I think it is a beautiful revelation, because what was being shown to me was actually it's like my level of consciousness has heightened so much that it's come back in a different way that I couldn't see it until I could allow myself to see it. And it is really how it brought me back into how I was so insecure and afraid of love. And I believe that as long as I could control my emotions, I could also control what was going on around me and how much anybody could love me when I was 22, when I had anorexia. I'm healed, I'm fully recovered, but that lesson continued into where I'm at right now at 36. Yeah. So for me to see this, obviously, it was such a deep relief. There were lots of tears, lots of tears, lots of tears, lots of tears. But because I have this stronghold of practice and devotion and learning how to surrender and really listen. And there's one thing I want to share with you. I wouldn't have been able to do this without tea. And tea as a medicine really does have this beautiful innate quality that flushes out what needs to be cleansed, like your ego, your critics, the external noises, like it flushes them all out. And what's left is really your North Star, your true North. And that's when you can hear your soul speak. I heard my soul speak so deeply. I could hear how much that love needed to be infused and acknowledged and brought into my space even deeper. And I think the greatest lesson, the greatest integration, the greatest embodiment that could have come out of this is that I used to think as long as I was achieving something, it would prove that I existed. I used to think my worthiness relied solely on everything external to me. And I used to think what it means to belong means that it depended on whether someone accepted me, someone somewhere. That's when I belong. That's what I used to think. And doing the work and coming into a space and being a mentor, this allowed me to see this so clearly in so many beautiful women who are here to do amazing big things, but have those things hold them back. And this lent me an edge. It gave me the ability to feel all these things when it's coming up, the ability to see it so clearly in my clients, and right now to see it inside of me when it comes up. Because ultimately, at that point, it still was something that was holding me back. And so now that that's been alchemized, now that I'm here sharing this, I want to tell you this. I'm not going to back down. In fact, I'm going full in sharing this medicine because it is so potent, it is so important. And the ceremonial aspect of holding ourselves in that honorable, reverent space with such a beautiful plant spirit is going to transform so many lives. And this is not just any transformation that I'm talking about where you're like, oh, I went in and then it was just like that, and then boom. And then 3 months down the line or 3 weeks down the line, it's like I'm back to like thinking the same shit that over and over again. Like, why am I back here again? I'm not talking about that kind of transformation. I'm talking about something super embodied. Like, this is consistent transformation. And it is something that you can integrate into your life every single day. And one of the things that I love about my teacher, who used to say this so often, he would always say, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I take that, and I have to say, the first time I heard it, I was like, I'm not really sure what this means, but I can tell you right now, a couple of years down the line, every single day, just etching this into my heart every time I do my practice, knowing that when I come into ceremony, the way I am in the ceremony is just going to be the same when I go out there and be a person, to be whoever I am, a daughter, a wife, a priestess, a poet, a writer, a businesswoman, a ceremonial keeper. Like, that is the same version that you get in everything that I do, whether I'm washing the dishes or changing the bed sheets or being in ceremony. And I think as leaders, we do have that responsibility. We do have to really reflect on, how are we showing up in the world? How are we showing up? Are we perfecting an image and we shy away from sharing things that have been difficult? Because I'm somebody who definitely want to work with a mentor who is every bit the human that she is, or he is, or they are, and they're not pretending, because I can feel it. And I've certainly done the pretending. I've certainly done the pretending all my life growing up, being in positions that I thought, as long as I am strong, as long as I am perfect, as long as I'm beautiful or pretty or gorgeous or whatever in their standards, then I can be somebody, I can be accepted. But where I'm standing now, where I'm sitting right now, is that I am absolutely in great compassion, and I see you. If you're in that space, I see you playing safe. I see you fearing the rejection, the quote unquote backlash, or whatever your mind is making up as a story. I see you. I have no judgment. I have zero judgment for where you're at. I see you. And my wish is that every woman gets to live a life of tea, so that she can be so in touch with the stillness within her and take the aligned actions that really truly matter. Because we can take actions all day long, we can do whatever, we can say whatever, we can the biggest thing that always comes to me, whenever clients come to work with me, is always like, yeah, I've done all the qigong, the tapping, the whatever, the EFT, blah 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 blah. Okay, but it still doesn't work. I'm still not happy. Why is that? Well, I can tell you, but I want you to experience that for yourself. I want you to experience the state of bliss. I want you to experience for yourself the harmony that you feel when you are actually truly connected, really connected. And then go and manifest and create the things that you are actually connected with, that you truly desire. Not because someone else said that you should have it. All great. But what if you could create something that you are absolutely connected with, that is out of this world, that is, you're creating something that nobody actually think is possible. You're actually creating something that is new in this dimension, in the sense of like, nobody has really done it. Nobody has maybe successfully done it, but you really believe in it. And you want to go out there and create this, because I can tell you, you are fully supported right now. You are fully supported right now. And you gotta get that mind under control, in the sense that you want to learn how to refine the consciousness, the mind, the overthinking mind, refine it into a super consciousness that is here integrated with your body, your nervous system, yeah, and your soul. You got to let the soul speak. You gotta let your soul speak, so that you can soul your way through life. You're not here to be, really calculated, like take calculated moves, or really overthink, or be in the linear logical space, when it really sucks the life out of you, right? There's miracles, there is magic all around us. And for us to perceive that, to actually find that sense of joy again in our lives, is really to have that moment where you can really feel the glow of your heart, the moment where you can really feel the vision dropping in from all the stars from above you, dropping into your body, because that is only for you and you alone to manifest. A moment for yourself, so that you can really feel this in your wisdom center. You can feel your cellular memories coming back to life. You can remember how it feels like to be in limitless potential, because who you really are is boundless. You are limitless. You are this formless energy that just came into matter. All of us. And so if you can take back your creatorship, imagine the kind of life you can really create. Imagine that. And this is why I am here today, and I'm sharing this because this is almost like a manifesto for myself too. I am here to serve tea. I'm here to serve with all my heart. Yes, there may be some aspects that I have held back because I truly felt that, you know, if you were my client, you would know that I share this so openly in our own spaces, because I think I had this really such a deep reverence for this medicine that I feel like I want to share this. I want to share this with the world. And if you are actually called into Tea Spirit's space, I'm here to share even more with you. And I'm so happy to share that. And again, always no comparison between the plants or the plant medicine at all. Each plant has its own magic. But for me, Tea Spirit has always been the underpinning spirit that runs through my spaces. And I truly believe that when mentorship and ceremony come together, mind blown. Like mind blown results and transformation. Alchemy that happens so quickly. Like my clients are growing so incredibly, and every moment we have together is like 10 years of work together. Like literally, you know? And I can't even explain it in words because the ceremony does its work itself. And that's just the magic. Like I really am here as the crystalline prism for the divine to pour right into me and clear out, and then just become this beautiful space for my clients to see who they really are. And that's why I love this mentorship. I can't speak enough about it because sometimes it's something I almost feel like I don't do it justice, to be honest, because I'm like, I can't even say it in words how incredible it is. But it really is. And one of the reasons is because we work so much with the unseen realms. We work so much with the luminous threads of the unconscious, and the divine comes in, and the cosmic energy that we are moving together in the ceremony with the support and guidance of Tea Spirit, because Tea Spirit has her own transmissions. And so everything weave together to create this immense alchemy, like this potent dimension of its own. It's got its own life. It takes its own form. And when a woman comes in and work with me, you know, I absolutely adore how Tea Spirit takes on life with them. So some of them come in, they might have needed the healing more than anything else, and then they just have the Tea Spirit through and through in our space, and then that's complete. And then there are others who really move with tea, and they're so in love with Tea Spirit that then they incorporate the practice into their private lives, into their work. And you know, when they work with these leaves that I talk about, like the ancient indigenous tea trees that we're working with, like we're talking about living tea. We're talking about tea that is living because it's from a biodiverse environment. It's got ancient wisdom running through its veins. It's got a beautiful relationship with the nature, Mother Nature, with earth, with sky, with rain and cloud and rivers and mountains, the minerals that it takes in, the deep roots that run through and through into the inner earth. Like we're talking about something that is profound. It's so profound and deep that combining it with the lineage of ceremony, because ceremony carries so much imprints of the ancient ones and the wisdom of the carriers, the keepers. There's something magical just flourishes in that space. It just really flourishes, and it can be so powerful, just as powerful as an ayahuasca ceremony, just as powerful as a coaching session. Like, and then no words had to be transpired, no words. And so I think in some ways, before sitting here and talking to you, I've been sharing this openly, it's not a secret, but I'm here to really, really power up and share more of this. And so if this is something you want to learn a little bit more, like you want to really tap into what exactly is tea medicine, what exactly is tea ceremony, like I welcome you into the Facebook group that I run for free. You can join us for free, called Vortex of Stillness. You can absolutely join us there. I'll be doing a lot more of these tea talks and really sharing a little bit more about what really is the tea that we work with. And if you have any questions, you can dive in that into that space with me. I'm happy to do that. But if you really want to experience this magic, if you really want to walk this Tao, if you want to live a life of tea, I invite you into my mentorship spaces, because it really is an experience. It's really not something you can quite grasp intellectually. Yes, there are thousands of books written about Cha Dao. There are thousands of books written about how these tea trees have flourished and what kind of teas are out there, and all of those are great. But the experience itself is something that is truly irreplaceable and ineffable, and there's just no words that can really, really explain this. And I'm really astounded that I've gone on for 40 minutes about this. And also, just I have so much love for this. Like, I can talk forever about this, because there is so much that tea ceremony has done for me. It saved my life so many times. It's cleared my purpose so many times. It's cleared my subconscious blocks so many times. I fuse tea ceremony with all the other modalities that I have come to learn, bioenergetics, Taoist alchemy, Chinese medicine. All of these are great. But would that mean anything, like in any sense of the word, without tea ceremony? I don't think I'll be the same person. And I say this because tea ceremony really trained me to carry the ceremonial spirit forward beyond the ceremony. So without the tea, I'm still the same beautiful energy. And I think this is so important when it comes down to really knowing that it isn't about what we do, it's about how we do it. And so when we find that vortex of stillness with the guidance of tea spirit, it's like, it's anchored in, it's really ours. It's here to stay. And then you can go out there and create incredible things and never feel like you're so disconnected from your purpose ever again. Life is an evolution. There is never failure. For me, I really believe this. It's just an evolution. And in every evolution, there are the highs and the lows. There are the dips and the highs and the lows and so on and so forth. And learning to walk with this evolution is everything. As a leader, as a way shower, like we are here to do this. And tea, the way of tea, Cha Dao, oh my gosh, combine that with the beauty of ceremony. You are uniting beauty and sacredness as one. And that is the oneness that we all talk about, that we want to tap into. Oh gosh. So once again, if you are, you really have been searching and searching and searching for that one thing, that one modality that will keep you, like if you've been jumping all around different modalities for years and years and years, I invite you to experience the way of tea, because it is a deep and profound, and it gives you such a consistent devotional transformation. It never ends. And it is such a sustenance, like it's such a sustenance. And so it's everything. And even one day when you decide, I'm done with the ceremony, I'm done with the tea, maybe I'll give it a break, that spirit never leaves you. That harmony, that tranquility, that reverence, that purity, it never leaves you, because it's right there, always ready to invite you back in. Every single day, every day. There is a saying that every ceremony is the first and the last time. Ichigo Ichie, one chance, one encounter. And I take this with all my heart. I really carry this. Every ceremony I have with my clients, it's always the first and the last time, because this is who they are when they come in, and the next moment she's a different person, different feeling, different frequency. We're all different, and even when we're tasting the same tea, it tastes different. And that is the beauty of working with living tea. So thank you so much for sticking with me all throughout if you've been here. And if you're on the replay, please let me know. If you're on the replay, I send you so much love. My mentorship spaces are open. I would love for you to come in and connect with me and really chat with me. Tell me what your desires are. What is disconnecting you from yourself? What do you desire to create? Who are you? What clarity would you want to create? And I will absolutely let you know what's the best way to work with me, or maybe you're not a fit, and that's all good too. And so I have something that's coming up. Before I finish, I just want to share that I have a Journeying with Tea Spirit introductory experience. It's a tea ceremony and vision journey, because I've used beautiful rare teas that are so exquisite, and they can really cost an arm and leg sometimes, but they have this profound vision quest energy in them. And so if you want to join me on that, you're very welcome to join me. There's still time for you to put in an order. There are 2 ticket options. You can just get a ticket to join me, or you can also join me with a ticket and also a tea package that I'm going to handpick and send to you, so that you can have a full-on experience with the tea ceremony when you're having it with me. It's going to take place in the virtual space in Zoom, but by the way, I'm going to share this. My work, 100% of it right now is virtual. And all my clients have experienced this profound transformation and all the ceremony activations virtually. And energy doesn't lie. And energy goes beyond time and space. It collapses time and space. And so it's truly magical. It's so magical. It's like, what? How is that possible? Yes, it is possible. And that's why I truly believe in this work. I have 100%, 110,000%, if that's possible, unwavering faith in this. I know it's going to be so beautiful, and it really truly is my hope that every woman gets to live a life of tea in her own way. Because remember that Leaf has no dogma, no doctrine. However you want to work with her, it's really yours, your story to weave, your story to weave with her. And then just really tap in and connect with the stillness within you, so that you know you have that quiet space to come back to anytime, anywhere. You don't have to run away to Peru. You don't have to drive all the way into the woods if you don't want to. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying those are bad things at all. I want that to be clear, but I just want you to know that you have that within you. You have that stillness within you. You just have to activate that. You have to tap into that, and it doesn't leave you. And Tea Spirit is here to guide you. It's really, 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 really beautiful. It's just something so sacred. And so I'm so excited to really welcome in anybody who is really feeling the call. And last but not least, I'm going to bring my fire in. Stop watching and make the move. If you are a leader, if you are called to do this, if you know that you can serve your people better by really anchoring yourself in, like honing in that vortex of stillness, this is for you. I don't want you to feel like you need this and you're in desperate need of something. I want you to want this, because it really is coming from your desire to lead in your top form, in your best form. Because you want to be that leader. You want to be the leader who really is here to stay. You want to do this not just because it's going to bring you all the wealth in the world. You want to do this because it brings you all the wealth in the world, and you're here to serve. You know you're here to be part of the change that humanity is going through right here in this moment right now. And you first and foremost have to believe your work is 100% worth it. And that belief is absolutely something you can hold steady, unwaveringly. And T Spirit is here to guide you, is here to help you to do that no matter what, throughout any circumstances, because I can tell you, I am that person. I've been through this. Rock and roll, baby, roller coaster ride. And I'm still here standing. I'm not going anywhere. And I thank God, I thank T for that. I really do. Because T has taught me so much. Such a great, profound teacher. So, thank you so much again for tuning in. I love you. And oh my gosh, Becky, I just saw your message. You didn't miss anything. There's going to be replay. So thank you so much for joining me. I love you. Sending you so much love. And I hope to see you very soon in my DMs. Any questions, connect with me. You're so welcome to do so. And all my heart to you.